there, thanks for checking this out. This is episode 5 of Work, Commute, Let's Chat. My name is Scott Velasquez. I'm a longtime game developer, soccer coach, esports fan, husband, dad, and just all-around tech geek, I guess you could say. I have a really long commute to work, so this is what I do to keep myself sane and to talk to people and just hang out. Alright, so it's 2018 now. Had a long break from work. Apologies for not having a video in a while. Had a pretty good Christmas. I hope you guys did as well. Spent a lot of time with family. Actually did my shopping pretty early this year. Did a lot of it online. So it was basically just my wife doing all the last minute shopping, which I jumped in at the end to help with a little bit. So I hope yours went well. And Happy New Year as well. So part of my vacation was spent down at my in-laws over in West Texas. We drove out there before New Year's. I don't remember the exact date. But before we left, I started feeling kind of crummy and I had this pretty bad cough. And I knew, I told my family before we got in the car, I'm like, I'm not feeling right. I wonder if I should stay here, and I don't want to get any of you guys sick. But we went ahead and went anyway. But when we got there, it did not feel good at all. So I went ahead and went to bed. It was like 8:30 in the evening, probably way too early for me, and went to sleep. And that was it for me on that day. Next day I got up, felt terrible, took some medicine, felt a little bit better. Eventually my wife's like, yeah, we should just call and get you in somewhere. So she got me into an urgent care, which I don't know if you know what that is. It's basically like a little pop-up doctor. So it's not like your normal doctor. It's not the emergency. It's just these other little clinics that you can go to. And this place was packed. It probably had about 16 people in front of me. We got there around the time they said to get there, and they kept pushing the time back, pushing it back. So I probably waited there for 2.5 hours probably. My wife ended up leaving to go do some shopping and stuff for some meals they were going to cook that day. She went back and got me, and it was terrible to sit up when you feel sick. Just wanted to lay down. All right, so they took me in the back and swabbed me for flu in my nose, which wasn't so bad. But then they did the strep test, and I've never done that. I've seen my kids do it. That was pretty terrible. I thought I was going to throw up on the doctor, but luckily I didn't. Waited. Came back. Sure enough, I got the flu. As soon as I heard that, all I could think was my mom's voice going through my head, because every year she's always reminding me to get my flu shot, and usually don't listen. I think I've taken it a couple times, but yeah, they came back and said I had the flu, and crap. She's like, the strain you have, you might as well go ahead and get the shot too when you feel better, because this is a different strain. Apparently the flu shots, they sort of didn't predict correctly on what was going to be big this year. That happens occasionally. But anyways, yeah, so I had the flu. I was basically cooped up in that room for pretty much 4 days. I came out a little bit the night before, which was New Year's Eve. And of course they're having a huge party, and the last thing I want to do is get my wife's family sick. Amazing family, by the way. And so I would just pop out every now and again to say hi and try to keep my mouth covered up, and went out there and shook hands with everybody at New Year's and whatnot, and then went back. But yeah, those 4 days were pretty interesting. I did a lot of watching Netflix, which I don't normally do, so I blew through The Punisher and Master of None and just a bunch of stuff. And I don't ever watch that much TV. I spent a lot of time just thinking. I did some reading in there. But the thinking was probably the most useful for me, just to sort of get a bunch of ideas straight in my head, because I have a lot of stuff I really want to do this year, and I feel like I have some pretty good plans now on how I'm going to attack that. And I'm definitely going to need some help, though, so that's one of the things, you want to do stuff sometimes, and you need people's help. So see what I can do this year to get some people to help me with some of these visions I have of things I want to do that are really going to help people, and especially help the youth of today. So I'm pretty excited. Of course, it has to all take place in my free time, which I've been working on a little bit to free up a little bit. Before I was coaching 2 soccer teams during the spring and the fall. Love it. Takes up a lot of time though, especially now that I'm getting this itch to do this other thing. So I had to step back from that, which I feel terrible about, but just got to do it sometimes. And if I do it right, I'm actually going to touch even more kids. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And, I can still coach the occasional off-season thing where you don't really necessarily need practices. So I'm coaching futsal right now. So I don't know if there's any cryptocurrency investors out there, but something else I'm interested in. It's neat technology. The blockchain stuff is really interesting. I have a lot of ideas there too. If I had infinite amount of time, I have a lot of ideas I think that could be applied to blockchain. That would be pretty interesting. Who knows? Maybe I'll download that and start playing around with that someday. It'd be pretty fun. But anyways, yeah, it's been pretty fun watching companies do different things, and of course raise money like there's no tomorrow. I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, these companies are raising tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. It's crazy, but at the same time, it's pretty interesting, right? Because they have a lot of money to, assuming they're doing this for a good purpose and actually fund their business. That is a lot of money to do something. And with money, sometimes that's all you need is money, because then you can hire people and then you just make your thing that you want to make. So, hey, more power to them as long as they're doing it right. Please, no more scam coins out there. But anyways, the reason I bring that up also is I went ahead and took a tiny little bit of profit yesterday. I didn't think I was going to do it this generation, but because I've been playing so much on PS4 and PC and Switch occasionally as well. I didn't have an Xbox, but I went ahead and sold a few coins yesterday, which sold immediately. There's so many people out there watching cryptocurrency, but I sold just enough to buy an Xbox One and Halo. There's not a whole lot of Microsoft exclusives, which is different than last generation. There was a lot more back then, but I went ahead and did it. I'm a game developer. I need to really understand what's going on that platform. My position at work too, I need to see what other developers are doing. Curious to see if some of the stuff we want to do is already being done. So I figured, hey, it's a good investment. Maybe work reimburses me, maybe they don't. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. Basically got a free Xbox out of it. Just off of the money I've made off of crypto. So I went ahead and did that. That's the second time I've bought a physical good based off of currency like that. It's pretty interesting. So I can say it definitely works, but your mileage may vary. So please be careful. Do lots of homework. I am not an advisor by any means. Let's see, New Year's resolutions. I don't typically do New Year's resolutions, but it is something interesting to think about, because ultimately it boils down to some long-term goals, right, that you want to try to fulfill throughout the year. And that's good. It's good to have goals. If you don't have goals, you kind of just wander around sometimes. You don't challenge yourself like you should. So let's see, if I were to think about some for me, one is definitely just I need to concentrate more on fitness and eating better. Sometimes people think about that as being sort of self-centered or thinking about yourself, but really it's more than that. I mean, when you feel good and you have energy, it allows you to do more things. And when you're working with other people or giving back to your community, it means you're doing an even better job at that. You're touching more people, you're touching more lives, you're impacting more. So for me, I want to do it for those reasons. I mean, obviously I want to look better or whatever, but ultimately the main purpose is to have more energy, feel better, be more positive, which I feel like I'm pretty positive more, most of the time. But yeah, I want to do it for those reasons. Thinking about another goal, this thing that I want to do with the youth, that's definitely a big goal that I hope to see some movement on this year. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be pretty sad, but it's all up to me. I just got to get out there and do it. I need to get some people excited to help me, for them to see the vision. The people I talked to last year are definitely interested, they're ready to jump in when I'm ready. So just need to finish the game plan and start executing, and start learning, start getting feedback, it's pretty cool. Speaking of which, it's always always cool to go hang out with my wife's family. That's, you know, when you start dating and you're evaluating, you know, people that you're interested in and whatnot. You know, one thing I always tell people is look at their family. You know, like, what's their family like? How are they with their family? How is their family with them? And man, that's one thing I've always told everybody, including my kids and my wife and everybody, is love my wife's family. My wife's family is awesome. I mean, all of them. They're teachers. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. So it's really cool to talk to them because they have a lot of ambition. They have a lot of goals, and yeah, just really, really great people. It's always good to hang out with them. They're really fun. Yeah, so when you start dating and whatnot, definitely evaluate the family. I mean, obviously you're not marrying the family, but in a way you are, you know. And the people you married or you're dating, you know, maybe you're not jumping straight to marriage. Sorry about that, but you know, the people that you're dating, they're a reflection of their family. You know, I mean, you think about, you know, kids that didn't have a parent or no parents, or you know, went through situations. It's going to impact them as a person, whether or not you see it now or not. You know, for me too, you know, I was raised in a divorced family. My wife wasn't. I certainly didn't take care of any kids or babies when I was a kid. My wife did, you know, so she has that experience too. So, I mean, it's really good to find somebody you can relate to, obviously, but also find somebody who compliments you. You know, I feel like I teach my wife a lot of stuff, but she teaches me a ton of stuff as well. So definitely just think about that. Again, I'm no expert on relationships and whatnot, but that's just kind of what I've learned. See, as far as other New Year's resolutions, I really, really want to learn Spanish better. I know just enough to catch a few words out of a sentence. but yeah, just not enough at all. You know, my oldest daughter's in high school. She's taken, I think, her second year of Spanish. And man, she's already passing me up, you know. I mean, a lot of that's because I'm not practicing it. You know, I probably did know a lot at one point, but so that's definitely another thing is, you know, being Hispanic, I really, really need to be fluent in Spanish. I feel like I'm kind of letting myself down and letting our people down, you know. You know, it's sometimes I go to the convenience store, or I go to, like, say, AutoZone or something, and you know, I tell the people my name, and of course some of the people that work there are Hispanic, and they're like, oh, you know, first name's Scott, you know, why Scott, but your last name's Velasquez? And they start laughing, and you know, I laugh, but you know, it does kind of bug me. I need to learn Spanish, and I want to be able to I could interact with more people if I knew Spanish, because there's a lot of people that only speak Spanish, you know. You know, they're probably trying to learn English as well, but and what's funny is, you know, I meet a lot of people that are trying to learn English, and they know English better than I know Spanish, so I'm slacking. I need to step it up for sure on learning the Espanol. Let's see, so that's 3. I don't know if I have enough time to really come up with another one real quick. I think the 4th one would probably be, and I started doing that 2017 too, is just slowing down, you know, appreciate what you have, you know. It's good to have ambition, it's good to go, but sometimes you need to just stop and look around, like, all right, you know, I have this, you know, I have these people in my life, and really appreciate that, you know. Sometimes I think we just get caught up in the grind and the hustle of just, you know, getting the next thing and doing the next thing and, you know, being the next thing. Sometimes we just need to stop and reflect, you know, like, be thankful. I started journaling last year. That helped a lot, sort of with just getting things accomplished, recognizing things I'm thankful for, realizing things I did, realizing things I didn't do, you know, because I got distracted with whatever it was. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep up journaling this year as well. And I recommend that to you as well. Why am I saying as well so much? And I recommend that to anybody that feels like they have trouble remembering things they were supposed to do, or remembering good ideas they had. I try to jot down things in there that are like, oh yeah, that's good. I need to remember that in the future. So yeah, I guess that's about it, you know. So thanks for hanging out. I'm here at work now. I need to get my butt in there and get to work. Got big things to do here at work too, so I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all take care. Stay relentless. Be thankful for what you got. And I'll see you next time. See ya.